Reimagining African Kingship. Why our coronation rituals must evolve with the times. The forest was dark, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and danger. A young prince, destined to be king, stepped forward into the wilderness, his bare feet pressing into the soil as he prepared to face his greatest test. For weeks, he would live alone, hunting wild beasts, sleeping under the stars, and confronting the spirits of the land. Finally, he would be buried, symbolically, and then rise again, reborn as a king. This was the old way, and in its time, it made perfect sense. Why these rituals existed. Our ancestors were not frivolous people. Every rite, every ritual had a purpose. The coronation ceremonies of old were not mere theater, they were survival tests designed to produce leaders capable of protecting their people from the threats of their era. 1. The Wild Beast Challenge. Then, a king had to prove he could defend his people against lions, leopards, and rival warriors. Physical bravery was non-negotiable. Now, when was the last time a Nigerian king fought a lion? Our battles today are no longer against claws and fangs, but against ignorance, corruption, poverty, and bad leadership. 2. The Burial and Resurrection Ritual. Then, it symbolized the king's connection to the ancestors and his role as a bridge between the living and the dead. It reinforced the idea that leadership was sacred, not just political. Now, if a king is buried today, it won't inspire awe, it will inspire memes. Respect is no longer commanded by mystery, but by transparency and competence. 3. Isolation in the bush. Then, a future king needed solitude to commune with spirits, learn survival skills, and shed his former self. Now, a leader who disappears for weeks in 2025 isn't seen as spiritual, he's seen as irresponsible. The world moves fast. Leadership requires presence. Our new existential threats, and the rituals we need instead. If we are to keep kingship relevant, our coronation rites must evolve to reflect today's battles. Here's what should replace the old tests. 1. The lion of today. Corruption. Old test, slay a lion. New test, publicly declare and forfeit all assets before coronation. Leadership must be made unattractive by all means. Why? A king who can resist greed is far more valuable than one who can wrestle a leopard. 2. The burial of today, accountability. Old symbolism buried to rise again as an immortal ruler. New symbolism, spend a week living among the poorest citizens documenting their struggles. Why? A king who understands poverty is harder to manipulate by politicians. 3. The bush isolation of today, digital detox and strategy. Old practice, weeks alone in the forest. New practice, a leadership retreat. No phones, no aids, to study global/ancestral best practices in leadership, sustainability, and technology. Why? A king who understands blockchain